Mostly because I really love staring at lasers.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Muddled Dice. Tonight, Carla from Weird Giraffe Games is back. She's joining myself and Sarah, and we're going to talk to her about her new game, or their new game, Fire in the Library. Real quick introductions. So, Carla, you've been on the show before, so you know me. If you look in the chat, Bakery is my sister Sarah. So, Sarah, Carla, Sarah.
Hi.
Hi.
So you wanted to start with the elevator pitch for Fire in the Library?
Of course. Okay, so Fire in the Library. It's a quick push your luck game for 1 to 6 players that plays in about 30 minutes. In the game, you are a librarian who's trying to desperately save books from a burning library. As you play, the books gain value because they get destroyed, but as things get destroyed, the library gets closer to collapsing until it finally just collapses in on itself and the game ends immediately. So you want to make sure to get your turns and save as many books as possible before that happens.
Okay, cool. That sounds really cool. So like as the game progresses, you were saying things get more valuable, but you kind of also lose time to collect more things.
Yeah. So as books burn, so by saving books, you are drawing cubes out of a bag.
Okay.
And there's book cubes, and there's always 22 book cubes. And whether they're in the bag or other players have them, some tools can help you with that. But the game starts out with 7 fire cubes in the bag. And as books get burnt, they raise in value. And as certain books burn, more fire cubes are added until a total of 17 fire cubes are in the bag. So towards the end, there's a lot higher chances of you actually pulling more fire cubes than books.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Sort of like a similar mechanic to Clank.
Yeah, where there's more clank in the bag, or like the little cubes, so you're more likely to get hurt by the clank monster.
Yeah.
I've never heard of that, but that sounds fun too.
It is a very different game, but it's good. It has deck building, and I played Clank in space. So
Okay.
It has space stuff, and you move around a board, you do things.
Cool. Okay, so now I understand for Fire in the Library, you're not the designer this time, right? You're the publisher?
Yeah, I'm the developer and publisher of this game. Tony Miller and John Prather designed it.
Okay. What was it about the game that made you want to add it to Weird Giraffe's repertoire? Library? Library. Let's go with that.
Yeah, we added Fire in the Library to our library. Okay, so there was a couple things. One of them is I met Tony and John at Gen Con 2 years ago, and we played it, and I enjoyed the game. And then, I kept going to cons and meeting people, and I'd see Tony every time, and we became pretty good friends. I actually even visited him at his home, and I got to meet his family and stuff over Thanksgiving. Because the community is just so cool like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really enjoyed hanging out and talking with Tony, and that was one main aspect of it, is that I really thought that Tony and John would both be really good to work with. But also the game itself. There's a couple different aspects of it, but first, it was a fun game. I played it and I was like, I had fun. Normally, I hate push your luck games. If you're like, hey, here's this push your luck game, I'm like, I could just do something else, because a lot of push your luck games are roll these dice and that's what you're doing. Are you gonna roll the dice again? It's not a lot of strategy. I really like strategy games, and I don't like losing. I'm fine with losing because I made poor decisions, okay? That kind of excites me, because I'm like, oh, I made really bad decisions this time and I lost, but next time I'm going to do better, okay? But there's some of these push your luck games where it's like, I can never do better than this.
Right.
It's just, I'm gonna roll dice or pull things or something, and I just hate it. So push-your-luck game that I really enjoyed. And it was also a shorter game. Before I started developing on it, it was like a 15-20 minute game, and I don't really design short games. Like, the games I really enjoy designing are the longer, like hour and a half type of games. Like,
Yeah.
they're really involved. So, and I don't think I would ever design a push your luck game. So it kind of like fit that niche of well, the Weird Giraffe library of games. Like, you have to have a variety. So I think all the games that I'm going to bring in from other designers are going to be ones that, I just wouldn't design, but I would still like really enjoy playing. So I brought it in. It was really fun. I really liked working with Tony and John, and it's not something that I would come up with myself.
Cool. Yeah. Yeah. At first, when I was looking into it, I thought it was another one you designed, and I was really thrown by the fact that, like, wow, you just finished like the Stellar Leap Kickstarter, and like you've already got another one good to, ready to go. So it makes me feel a little bit better about my abilities that someone else was doing this for 2 years and you didn't like come up with something in a month.
Oh, those are the other games I have. They're not on Kickstarter yet.
Oh wait, I'm sorry. Say that again.
I was just referencing that I have like at least 2 other games that I could have gone with, but I didn't like them as much as Fire in the Library.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you want to kind of give us a crash course in Fire in the Library? Go over the main game loop.
Okay. So in the first round of the game, normally at the start of the round, you choose turn order, and there's a variable turn order. But during the first round, the turn order is just dealt out randomly.
Okay.
So these turn order cards, there's normally 5 spaces, and there's safe spaces and dangerous spaces. The safe spaces, you can get 1 fire cube in a safe space and you're fine. But for a dangerous space, if you get a fire cube in them, or if you get 2 fire cubes total, you burn all the books that you've gotten so far. So the first turn order card, it only has 1 safe space and it has 4 dangerous or risky spaces. But it also, the risky spaces, they give you bravery points. Okay, so if you do save books while going first, like say you save 5 books while going first, you'll get 8 additional bravery points because you were the first one in there that round.
Oh, okay.
Give and a take. Like the 5th player, it has 5 safe spaces, so it's super, super safe. But you won't get those bravery points because you're the last one in, essentially. So, turn order cards work. So once everyone has a turn order card, the first player goes, and they start drawing from the bag. And they can stop drawing whenever they want to. If they stop drawing before getting into a risky space, they'll get an additional tool card. And these tool cards, they can do anything from putting out a fire, maybe making your odds a little better when you draw. Like there's the shovel where you get to draw 2 and keep 1. Or they can make your risky spaces safe. So there's a variety of things that the tools can do. And you play them during the different phases of the game. So say you're pulling out, like you pulled out 3 cubes and you're like, hey, I'm done right now. Get any more? You can leave the library or escape it. And then you go to the after scoring part of the turn. And you score all your books, and then it goes to the next player. However, if when you're drawing or you're saving books, if you end up causing the fire to spread your books, the library gets destroyed a little, more fire cubes get added in the bag if certain cards were revealed, and then it goes to the next player's turn. So it's not an order where you hit all of the phases, but you hit either after scoring or the fire spreading. So turn and saves books and either it scores or causes the fire to spread. And then at the end of the round, as we were all trying to save books and none of us actually put out the fire continues to spread, and one of the sections of the library burns. which means that even if everyone is super cautious and doesn't burn anything, the game is still going to end at some point.
Right.
And then play just continues, and play continues until one section of the library is completely destroyed. And what that means is, like, if I'm going first, burning through a section, the person that's second doesn't get to go. The game's just over.
Oh, okay.
And then whoever has the highest number of points wins.
Okay, cool. So, how does the I might have missed it. How does the fire spreading work? Like, how can a player accidentally cause the fire to spread more?
So if they get a fire cube in a risky space, or if they get 2 fire cubes total, then like say that they drew out a yellow, a white, and a black book, and then they drew a fire and they were going first, so that would be a risky space. Then all 3 of those books burn, so 3 sections of the library would get destroyed.
Oh, okay. I see. Well, I was going to ask you to explain the tools and the advantages of turn order. You kind of already went over that. So do you know, like, I asked this when I had Brandon on the show too, if you could sum up the experience you want the player to have when they're playing the game in a few words, how would you do that?
Oh, in a few words. I had like a sentence or 2 picked out.
Oh,
but,
sure. Go for it. We're not that strict here.
A really exciting, like, push your luck mechanic where you feel in control, like like you are the person that is making the decisions and either causing the library to burn or not.
Okay.
Like, player choice matters a lot. I feel like there's some times where like you draw 2 red cubes in a row, and that's just there's a certain amount of cubes in there. But most of the time, like, when you burn, it's because you were like, I am going to draw one more time because I want to, that last book, and then you're like, oh, well, I caused that to burn.
Right.
But I mean, it's okay though, because every time you cause books to burn, you might not get any points, but you do get an additional tool as a kind of catch-up mechanic. So you don't get any points this turn, but hopefully next turn you'll use that tool to make a comeback.
Oh, okay. That's cool. I like that. I like also the like you're saying, it's got a little bit of randomness, but not entirely. So I kind of like that it sounds like it's skill based, but it's not like solvable.
Yeah. You can't know what you'll draw, but you can do like the math on it and get the probability of what you'll draw.
Yeah, cool. I like that a lot. Before we move on from the game itself, Sarah, do you have anything you want to talk about?
No, I like the mechanic of a variable turn order. They have that in Power Grid, and it makes it a lot of fun. It kind of keeps it from getting too routine. So that sounds like it should be fun.
Yeah. Oh, another thing about the variable turn order. So how it gets chosen is the person that's in last place gets to choose first. So they get, like, there's always those games where it's like, oh, you're last, so you're gonna, stay in last. But I tried to make it in Fire in the Library where if you're last, if you want to go first next time and try to make that big move and come up, you can. Or if you want to play it super safe and get like a certain amount of points, you can do that too. So, like, the person that's in the lead gets the least amount of choice for the turn order. They just get given their card.
Right. Now, can you so I've noticed you're not the designer on this game. Excuse me again. But you do keep saying, like, it sounds like you still kind of had a hand in developing it and working on it. So what for Weird Giraffe, what's the delineation between designer and developer?
Well, that's always kind of a discussion. Right now, for the first 2 games, I designed them and published them, so that was easy. I think if the idea came from somebody else, and I wasn't there from the beginning, they would always be the designer and I would be the developer, regardless of how much, there.
Okay.
Just a being good to the designer perspective of it. So I think like when we do the expansion for Fire in the Library, I'll probably be a designer on that because, well, most of it, I pushed most of it of the expansion. Uh, like I mean, Tony and John are there, and I talk to them almost on a daily basis about the game and different things like that. Uh, so like it's definitely a discussion.
Mhm. Okay. Um, all right. So let's talk about Kickstarter a little bit, and I guess about being a publisher. So your Stellar Leap Kickstarter ended, God, what, a month ago? 2 months ago? Doesn't seem that long
Oh,
ago.
more months ago, like 6
Really?
months ago.
Oh my God. Wow, time has
It's
really gone by.
slow.
Okay, so but I'm guessing, are you still in the fulfillment step of Stellar Leap?
Yes, I am actually. So right now, Stellar Leap, it is being manufactured, and I hope that it will be finished manufacturing on April 20th. That is the expected time. And then we'll be sending it out after that, hopefully in time to be at Origins, which would be
Oh,
fantastic.
cool. So what's it been like trying to, promote Fire in the Library and playtest it while at the same time trying to fulfill Stellar Leap? That, to me, that seems like a lot of work because I mean you've got a full-time day job too, right?
Yeah. So it is a lot. For one, I basically just do this all the time. Like I work. Okay. So like my daily like today, I got up and I started doing things for Fire in the Library and Weird Giraffe Games, and for about an hour or so, and then I went to work. And on my lunch break, I play games or do other things for publishing, and then I come home and I work more on things. So yeah, like it's a lot. So it's kind of like a cycle. So I want to get into always having a game.
Hmm.
um, I have to kind of think about, okay, Stellar Leap, do I need to talk with the manufacturer or the rules people, or like what's in the pipeline for that? But there is also Fire in the Library, and there's my next game, which is Totemic Rights, which was another one that I got from a designer. And then there's the one after that that I am in like prototype mode for.
Hmm.
So I want to always have like 4 games at a time being worked on. Of course, the main one, the one that's furthest along, is priority, and then it almost done. That's the second priority, and the other two are kind of when I get time or when I need it. Like sometimes, like for publishing, it's not my favorite thing to answer emails all day, every day. I have enough of those in my day job or like doing spreadsheets. And sometimes I just need a break. So, well, my main playtesting one has been Fire in the Library.
Hmm.
Because Stellar Leap was done. It was like working with the manufacturer and stuff. But sometimes I need like, not that I get tired of Fire in the Library, but I need to play other games so that I can have like fresh insight
Okay, yeah.
to it. So I'll play test the other game, or I'll start prototyping a new one just to get like, I have all these ideas and I need to like get them out, or else like I'll go crazy.
Yep.
So yeah, but those ones like I definitely don't work on as much as I want to, just because I need to focus on the primary two.
Right. Okay. So let me see what else I got. Okay, so I mean, you want to just pitch the Kickstarter now?
Okay, sure, yeah. So Fire in the Library, it will be on Kickstarter from March 19th until April 12th. The base game is $19 plus shipping, and we're also going to have this deluxe version. You might be interested if you're interested in laser cut things. I put a lot of time into making the laser cut really good and high quality. Mostly because I really love staring at lasers, like not directly, but like
Right.
it is just like watching that laser like do the art and stuff is just a very satisfying experience. So that deluxe version will have a laser cut box, with the scoreboard on the inside. Book tokens that actually look like such tiny books, which I'm like really happy about. One of them has a tiny unicorn on it.
Nice.
My favorite.
I think I saw the pictures of those on the Facebook page.
Yes, so the other ones are more like nondescript. So each of the sections of the library, there's fantasy, war, government, and my mind is blanking on words, but like geography. Yes, I know things about stuff, especially books. So yes, we have the deluxe edition as well. But we really need your help to come together and make this a reality. And I have like all these really cool stretch goals that are planned that I'm very excited about. I think what I'm most excited about is a magnet box, where like the magnet box, like it'll like magnets. They're just cool. And there's new tools that are actually play tested for sure. Like, there's some Kickstarters that like you get these stretch goals and you're like, whoa, this hasn't been play tested. But
Right.
I've been designing, as I said, I have an expansion ready for Fire in the Library. Probably 2 of them based on the amount of cards that there are.
Mm-hmm.
But I've taken some of those cards from the expansion and made a list of them. And, if we can get to a certain amount of money, those cards can get added to the base game instead of the expansion.
Oh, cool.
So I'm very excited about that. But yes, also Beth Sobel and Katie Cow have done the art. And if you are a board game person that's into art, Beth Sobel she is just amazing at what she does, and she has gone above and beyond for Fire in the Library. Like the tools are just a rainbow, amazing, beautiful thing. Like if I know that you probably don't think of tools and go like, oh yeah, that's beautiful, but these definitely are. Like I looked at them and I was like, whoa, Beth, you are just great. Like I know why you're an artist, because you can make anything look fantastic.
Awesome. So do you want to give us any like URLs or ways we can follow Fire in the Library?
Oh, of course. So on Twitter, I'm at Weird Giraffes. On Facebook, I am Weird Giraffe Games. And also Carla Kopp. Feel free to friend me or like the page. My website is weirdgiraffegames.com. While the Kickstarter is going on, Fire in the Library will take you to it. fireinthelibrary.com. That is very important. .com. Before the Kickstarter starts, it'll go to our mailing list. And afterwards, it'll probably go to our pre-order page if we have everything together. So yeah, fireinthelibrary.com. And thank you for having me on. Yeah,
no, it was great to have you on again. Unless anyone has anything else to say, I'm going to call it. Sounds good?
No, it sounds pretty cool. I look forward to it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It sounds cool. Thanks again for being on, Carla. It's always a pleasure to have you. Whenever your next game comes on, you're welcome back, of course.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm looking forward to being on again.
Yep. And for everyone listening, thanks for listening. If you like the show, please subscribe. That's all I got to say. Good night, everyone.